Hey, this is Mark Rodriguez.
And this is Johnny Rodriguez.
Yep, Johnny's back in town. And this time we're going to do another Johnny special where he checks out some of the games he was not available for the first time, so he can actually give his thoughts. So we're going to kick things off with Street Fighter 6.
Yes, check it out.
Ready yourself. Cry for mercy. Round one. Fight.
Street Fighter 6 came out in June of 2023, and the last time Johnny was here, he only got to play the demo that would let you choose Ryu and Luke. Now we can play the full game. The game takes place after Street Fighter 3, which finally ages the classic characters and adds some new ones. You get new fighting mechanics using the drive gauge, like the drive rush and the drive cancel. Other than the regular one-on-one mode and the online rank modes and stuff like that, you also get the brand new World Tour story mode and the Battle Hub, where you can challenge players with your avatar character and also play classic Capcom games. Since our first review, Rashid, Aki, Ed, Akuma, Bison, and Terry Bogard from the Fatal Fury games have been added to the roster. Mai Shiranui, also from Fatal Fury, as well as Street Fighter 3 Selena, will be coming soon. The Battle Hub recently added a new mode called V-Rival, where Li Fen uses a machine called SimSim that she herself created to make computer-controlled opponents based off of player rank data. You can set it up to face against opponents of your own level, or just to have someone to fight against when it's a slow day online. I mean, look at this. I guess it's too early in the morning or something, but there's like not a single player on in Battle Hub right now. It's like completely empty. What's going on, guys?
Alright, Johnny, so now you played more of Street Fighter 6, like the more complete version of the game. What are your thoughts?
I think the game is awesome. The more I play it, the more I love it. It's just fun learning more and more how to use the newer characters, because yeah, Ryu and Ken are kind of like basic, but like the newer characters, or the more recent characters, better said, they're pretty cool and they have a lot of personalities and they have great moves, and I just like the way the game feels, the way the game looks. It looks very realistic, very good detailing in the characters. And some of the supers, man, they're very cinematic and pretty damaging. And I just like the game. I feel like compared to the old school Street Fighter games, this one really relies a lot on techniques, on learning how to do certain things in certain situations precisely. So I like that, and I like the, what's the name of that extra mode?
The Extreme Battles.
Extreme Battle, that's always fun. It's always fun picking these weird challenges where you have to avoid the bomb, or if you get hit more, you win, or you can't do special moves, and like, it's just very challenging and fun and kind of frustrating sometimes.
Yep, and hey, we got Cammy here to represent Street Fighter 6. So there we go. Now the real question is here, what are your thoughts that they're going to add Terry Bogard and Mai Shiranui in Street Fighter 6?
Oh, that's going to be awesome. I mean, imagine how realistic Terry Bogard and Mai's going to look in this game. And it's also interesting because it's always creates a question of, hey, are they actually going to make a sequel to that SNK versus Capcom?
Yeah, Ninja Panda has been talking about, hey, because they're re-releasing SNK vs. Capcom Chaos. They're releasing a collection next year that has Capcom vs. SNK Part 1 and Part 2. Terry and Mai are now appearing in Street Fighter 6. So the question is, will Capcom really be making Capcom vs. SNK 3?
With Terry and Mai added to Street Fighter 6, people were speculating the King of Fighters 15 would also add some Street Fighter characters. When SNK announced 2 special characters to be released in December, everyone thought this was it. Yeah, Street Fighter characters in the King of Fighter games, oh yeah. But instead it turns out that the final characters were just going to be Vice and Mature. And yeah, these people have been King of Fighter mainstays. They even appeared in King of Fighters 14, so it wasn't like that big of a deal. However, later on, it was revealed that Ken and Chun-Li will be appearing in the upcoming Garou City of the Wolves. So SNK will be getting Street Fighter characters after all, just not in the game we were expecting. In related news, I want to add that unfortunately, the long-running phone app game, King of Fighters All-Star, has been discontinued this past October 30th of 24. Ironically, their last big crossover event, feature the Street Fighter 6 characters Cammy, Guile, Jamie, and Judy.
Lock on. 任務を続ける。
Yeah. So anyways, guys, on to the next game.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Wrath of the Mutants was released in April 2024 and was based on an arcade game that came out back in 2017. It's based on a 2012 TV show and it's a 4-player beat 'em up. This time around, you have to fight through 5 stages in whatever order you choose before you can unlock the final stage and fight the Shredder. The game has familiar power-ups like pizza to refill your health and items to make your character spin around and take out all the enemies. The most noticeable feature are the cinematic screen-floating attacks that each turtle gets, as well as calling Leatherhead or Metalhead to clear the screen of enemies for you. The game is kind of annoying to play with all the enemy off-screen cheap shots and the friendly fire, and one of the strangest things about the game is the complete lack of online play, so you really need to grab a friend off the street to play this one more than one player, and with limited continues no matter what difficulty or what mode you choose, yeah, you're gonna need an extra buddy around.
I need to beat him.
Yeah, Johnny, so what are your thoughts on TMNT Wrath of the Mutants?
Okay, first of all, I find the game very noisy. Like, I was like, like I didn't like that. The game sounds like it's too loud. There's too much going on. Sometimes you don't even know what's going on. Like, and the enemies are spamming all over the screen, like, all the time. So the game has potential. I wouldn't say it's 100% bad, but it's also not the greatest turtle game they've ever made. So overall, the game is pretty average. And are we playing anything better?
Oh yeah, now the next game is a game that you saw the episode and you were saying that, whoa, the game looks fun and all that, so I get a chance to actually play Mayhem Brawler with us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
Mayhem Brawler was released in 2023, and while it started out as a 3-player game, later DLC would make it into a 4-player game. You can choose from 3 Stronghold officers, Trouble, Dolphin, and Star, each armed with unique superpowers as they fight their way through several stages full of mutants, werewolves, and vampires. The story mode has a very strong comic book aesthetic, and each stage ends with a choice of where to go next. That means you have to play the game several times to see all the stages, all the bosses, and all the endings.
Okay, Johnny, so what do you think? Should we visit the she-wolf or should we interrogate the truck driver?
Maybe interrogate the truck driver.
Alright, let's go for it.
Later DLC would let you unlock the She-Wolf and the Alley Witch, giving you up to 5 playable characters, which is of course why it became a 4-player game. You also have power-ups to refill your health, and all sorts of weapons including guns to blow the bad guys away. There's also an upcoming sequel in the works, Mayhem Brawler 2, Best of Both Worlds. So far it's gonna have Star's mother Stellar and She-Wolf, but if it's anything like the first game, more characters will be added. We'll be getting this one for sure.
Alright, Johnny, so now you finally got to play Mayhem Brawler. What are your thoughts?
I think the game is awesome. It plays very similar like Final Fight / Streets of Rage. The graphics look pretty good. I like the fact that the game has a lot of dialogue, a lot of storyline, a lot of storytelling, and the game looks very comic book. Like when you choose what's your next task to do, it looks like based of a comic book cover, so it looks kind of interesting. And the main character, the woman, I forgot her name.
Star.
She does all these posts, like she's on social media, you know, with the hashtag this, hashtag that, so that's pretty interesting. The game is kind of difficult because the enemies really do pile up on you and they move all over the place and they're shooting and they're stabbing you, and then you have vampires that are biting you, so it's really hard sometimes to get from point A to point B because enemies are all like spamming you all at the same time. But I do like the way how the game, I don't know, like you could do juggle combos, you could dash, the supers are pretty good. So yeah, I like the game.
So another thing, guys, is that they are going to make a sequel coming soon. They're still working on it from Hero Concept. On their social media, you can kind of keep tabs on like the progress and everything. In this game, they talk a lot about Grace Gardner, aka Star, her mother, her past, some kind of like past event, you know, stuff like that gets referenced a lot. And so there's this new game coming out, It's supposed to take place both in the past and the present. I'm assuming we're going to find out a lot about her mom, the past, and all situations that are discussed in this game. So that really helps that this game is very, story involved. So that's pretty cool. So that wraps it up for this episode of Video Game Masters. This is Mark Rodriguez.
This is Johnny Rodriguez.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.